Episode 702 of the Thicc Pod, your home for all things sports, cards, and levity. Fresh off the plane from Las Vegas, been home for all of 6 minutes, already live with the player from the Himalayas, Manny. What's going on, kid?
What's up? You look like Mr. Heatmiser over there.
Dude, let me tell you something about getting old. I never have gotten sunburn until like the last couple of years. I would just get like really brown. And by the end of the summer, people would think that I'm some sort of like Latino or Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And now that I've transitioned from living that blue collar lifestyle more to like a white collar lifestyle, all of a sudden the sun just whipped my ass. So we had rented these little like slingshots and we were cruising around the desert. We went to Hoover Dam. And I got back to the hotel that day and my shit was red.
I'm glad your transition went really well. There's some jump falls from your transition. But I mean, you kind of asked for it by wearing the red Chicago Cubs hat.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly didn't think about that. I threw it on and I'm like the red just brings it out. So shame on me for being dumb, but I like the red Cubs hat, so that's what I rocked. So oh well, what is my skin's red, my face is burnt. What are you gonna do?
Exactly. No, I'm excited because we didn't have an episode this week. Jeremy was busy, like he said, in Las Vegas, having contracts with some important people. He was like, I'm too busy for Manny. But we're back. We're live. We were like, let's do a live. We love when people kind of engage with us on the comments. I can never focus on two things at once, so it makes kind of like a comedy hour. So I'm excited. We have a lot of news in the hobby that we haven't talked about to eat with each other. So we might have some different opinions here.
Yeah, outside of a couple of like 10, 15-minute quick phone calls throughout the week, we really didn't get a chance to chat. And we had always joked about, what if we just recorded the phone call and released that, but then you don't get the video. And sometimes, there's some things that are said that can't be distributed mainly as a result of you day drinking, but that's okay.
Yeah. We just talk about 504 all the time, What's up, Matt? How are you?
It's good to be Matt. Thanks for having us.
Yep. It's good to have you. Good, thank you.
Dude, so much stuff going on. You were fired up. You called me today at the airport. Like, legitimately, the Delta plane hit the ground, and I got a bunch of calls. Did you land yet? Let's go live right now. I'm like, dude, let me get home. Let me get settled. So here we are. So what's top of mind for you? Where do you want to kick it off at? Like, where do you want to start?
So top of mind right now is I'm going to show everyone Demon Slayer, just new episode came out tonight, so I got to watch that afterwards. Jeremy, my case of Demon Slayers coming in tomorrow. I'm going to be ripping it live. I asked Mr. Bro Namath to go live with me on Instagram so he could tell me what I'm looking at. So I'm pretty pumped. I also bought, I don't know where it is, but I bought a break mat that's Demon Slayer just for this case rip. So I'm pretty excited.
So I will tell you today, I promised you guys that the next time Brandon jumped on to go over all things TCG, that I was going to be well prepared and I was going to be up to date on Demon Slayer. So I made it a point on the flight out to watch some Demon Slayer, and on the flight back. We landed today and some guy tapped me on the shoulder and he goes, "Hey man, what's that anime that you're watching?" And so I'm like, oh man, this guy's about to bust my chops or tell me I'm a dork or tell me I'm a nerd. And I'm like, it's called Demon Slayer. And he's like, yeah, man, I've never watched it, but, not to be weird or creepy, but I was looking at your iPad and, it seemed like it might be pretty cool. And so all of a sudden I went from being like, hey, you got to check it out.
The craziest thing about, because I thought the same thing. When I bought these shirts, my friend was laughing at me. I was like, we walk into places and people are like, I like your shirt. I like your shirt. I like your shirt. So it's like it's a community, like a big community that are diehard anime fans that I didn't know about, which is good for the card market if you want to get into the TCG world, because there's so much opportunity. A lot of people don't even know there's cards. I was talking to this guy that was watches like every anime when they first come out. Had no idea there was cards coming out that were kind of mimicking the actual show. So opportunity there.
Your case is set. It sounds like it. If it wasn't for where whether it's UPS or FedEx, that you potentially could have received it Saturday. So it sounds like it's going to be delivered tomorrow. So tomorrow night you're gonna rip that, I imagine, after you put the girls to bed.
Yep. 8:30. I'm gonna be ripping. I'm gonna go live. I know 504 Matt's been asking me every day, your case come in, because he bought some boxes as well. So I'm not sure. I think so. The distributor that we ordered from was in Tampa Bay. So Bro Namath actually got him early. So he got his like the next day. So he already ripped his case.
So what are you chasing? What are the hits? Have you, obviously Brandon ripped his. What did he pull? Anything good? Anything newsworthy?
He picked. So they're like on the bottom left. They show stars, right? And you want a 3-star card. I think he got a 2-star. It was one of his big hits. So any of those star cards are like the bigger hits. So hopefully you pull a bigger character, like your boy Tanjiro. You're going. It's pretty big, or his sister.
I like the sister a lot.
Yeah, she's badass, isn't she?
I like the sister. I love, not I don't want to turn this into it because I have no room to speak on anime or anything TCG, but that episode where that one 6-armed chick was throwing the balls at her and then they just started kicking it back and forth and raka.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's my break mat for tomorrow.
You're such a tool, man. That's awesome.
No, is it starting to get good for you though?
Yeah, I can't wait for him to become more of a badass. I still find him to be kind of whiny. Mm-hmm. And I feel like sometimes when you're watching it, they treat you nerds. They treat you like you're a dumbass, like you can't follow along. Like, I must try harder. They're faster and stronger. It's like, okay, dude, I'm watching it, I'm getting it. But yeah, man, it's I'm excited for you to get your case and rip it. You seem to have found your spot. You're having a lot of fun.
Yep.
Because sports cards don't seem to be working out too well for you.
I took another L in sports cards. Let's talk about my Manny's L of the week. That should be our segment. And this week I bought a certain card on a certain auction house. Nomar Garciaparra PC card turns out to be fake, and it's graded as a PSA 9 or 8. So,
all right. So hold on. I want to be respectful and mindful. Can we say the auction house, or would you prefer not to say the auction house?
I don't care. You could say it. Yeah. PWCC.
Okay.
I bought their weekly auction, bought a Nomar from there. Turned out to be fake. Went through the process of reaching out to someone, letting them know. The reason I found out it was fake is there's this guy on Instagram, Tommy Top Loader, and he's the biggest like Nomar collector out there that I know. And I was, when you get a PC card and you kind of share that interest, you like want to brag to him that you got the card.
Yeah.
So I'm bragging to him, and he's like, "Can you turn it around and take a picture?" Like, he was not excited at all, and I was like, "Uh-oh." Took a picture. He's like, "I'm sorry to tell you, but that's a fake, and it's really known as a fake because this certain set, I wish I knew the set. I could pull it up on my PWCC account. This is kind of looping together for this week's topic, is it's from an uncut sheet that was cut out, and PSA didn't catch it quick enough, and they graded a bunch of these. So the one way you could tell is on the back, the numbering, the serial number is black when it's supposed to be blue, and there's supposed to be a blue name, his name on the back, and there was nothing.
Can you take a minute and can you pull that up, because I'm sure somebody would find this fascinating and informative. I'll say this, just instant reaction. I'm excited. I think excited is the wrong word. I'm interested to see how this process plays out, because aren't there some assurances that if PSA authenticates something, that you are protected, where eventually you're able to get your money back and be made whole, is at least my understanding. Fortunate enough for me, any fake or reprint that I've bought has been caught before it's been graded and put in a slab. So I think, just talking about this and going from cradle to grave, I'm sure there's more people that'll find this sort of thing interesting. So you reached out to PWCC. What was their messaging? And I asked that just because I know that when I buy something off of, whether it's Golden, Heritage, PWCC, I do my own research to the best of my ability, but I don't know everything about every set and every card. And we talk about relationships where if it's like wrestling, you reach out to Drake's. If it's TCG, Brandon. If it's basketball, it's John from Basketball Card Guy. You have these people that you can lean on, but that's not always the case. You're trying to get a Nomar. You want to make sure you get it before the other guy gets it. What was their message when you reached out and you said, "Hey, man, I think this card might be fake. It might be, whatever the case is." Like, have they been supportive or?
So the rep I talked to, I have to submit a PSA form to them and send it to them, and then they will ship it to PSA, and only they will refund me if PSA deems it as fake. But the people I talk to that know this set, like Matt knows it, Legacy row 0 and row 1. So it seems like Matt knows about it. It seems like it's a well-known thing where PSA will get it and just be like, okay, yeah, this is a fake. But here it is. So hopefully that's the case. If not, then I just bought a fake card on PWCC, and I guess they can't do anything because it's a PSA problem.
Yeah, but
so here it is. Row 0. It was a mint 9, so PSA 9. And on the back, so it's out of 24 out of 100. So this serial number for the real one's right here. And there's right on top of this, it says it in blue, Nomar, and the serial number's blue as well. So this one came from a uncut sheet that got through PSA and
wow.
PWC. Yeah.
And so PWCC, even though they're the ones that sold it, basically said, get with PSA and then come back to us?
Pretty well. I guess I just fill out the form. They said they'll handle it, but I would assume if this is a well-known problem, kind of like you got people that know about it, and it's not just Nomar, it's the whole set. I guess Derek Jeter was a big one that people were doing. Backdoor copies. And so it's the whole year of this legacy. And I don't know why they just don't refund me. I don't care that much. I mean, it wasn't expensive. It's a PC card. I would like the real one, but I'm glad that I talked to that guy, Tommy Toploader, and let me know that it's fake.
Yeah, I don't understand from a small business owner myself. Keeping a customer happy is far more important than the couple of bucks. And so, if it was me, I would go out of my way to say, hey, sorry that, we put this out. Let us get your money back, maybe give you a little bit more credit. Let's make this a good experience. It shouldn't be on you to do paperwork.
I know. That's what I was kind of confused about.
And if the messaging, what's up, cuz? If the messaging is like, you need to do your homework, I would push back on that and I'm not privy to these conversations, so I'm not saying that's what's said, but it would be like, you sold the damn thing, man. You sold the thing. I'm a loyal customer. Hell, if anything, I feel strongly that without even intending to do so, people have probably bought off of PWCC because we were very transparent about what we were doing on Sunday nights, and I'm sure somebody's like, I'm going to give this a shot. Mm-hmm. That's not somebody who I'd want to give my money to. I'm almost frustrated on your behalf, because what happens if that happens to me? What if that is, and let's say it's a $50 card. There's people who are in the hobby where $50 is a big damn deal. And I remember when $50 was and still is a big deal, and you shouldn't have to put up with that, really.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, not knowing, I bought a fake card. How many fake cards are on their weekly auction? There's 66,000, and not just PWCC, because you got Golden, you got Heritage. How are they going through and are they just going through and putting them up because there's so many and some fall through the cracks? And just be wary, I guess. That's why I want to bring it up. There is fake cards still circling around. This is something that I just learned about this set. So when I'm looking at this set, again, I'll let everyone know, if the back is just black numbering with no name, it's a fake card. So I learned something, I guess, but in the hard way. If it all comes out to be okay, I'm okay with it. like I said, it wasn't a super expensive. I was kind of disappointed because it was something that I was going to keep and never like sell. I just wanted I was hoping they would help me out a little bit more.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder. The hobby, we've talked about this so many times. Everybody likes to hide behind children, community. It's all fun. It's all good. And then when there's problems, people are quick to brush it to the side instead of saying, like, hey, maybe instead of doing 6,000 cards a week where a couple percent of them are not good, not authentic, not legitimate, maybe we slow down and go quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we don't, and now please take this with a grain of salt. Maybe we don't lay off 30 people, 40 people, whatever it was I saw on LinkedIn, of disgruntled ex-employees who were just laid off. Maybe those people stay on and make sure that there's legitimate cards going through. And again, I understand how business works, and those things could be completely separate. This could be a one-off, but we've heard more and more. And if you've ever read on Blowout, you've heard things get authenticated by, Mike Baker and then get put through. There's been stuff knowingly that's fraudulent sold via, Golden, PWCC, and it kind of sucks for people like us who are just trying to make our way and spend hard-earned dollars to buy cards that we think are cool.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like anything I'm flipping. The thing that I kind of got the feeling that it was more like on their end saying that I need to do my research. Like you kind of brought up and maybe research the card a little bit more, but I shouldn't have to, because if it's in a PSA slab and then at an auction house, I should kind of expect it to be a real card. Is kind of my view, unless it's like the raw cards, but then they have the Mike Baker. So it's kind of, you're expecting, because Mike Baker looked at it, it's a real card. So how do they do that with PSA cards or BGS cards or SGC cards? They need, I think that with everything going around with trimming and uncut sheets and all these fake cards, I think there needs to be a little bit more security when they post stuff up on their auctions. And that's speaking to everyone.
How is this thing going to be sustainable and grow when to me, this is pretty damn simple. Like I would look at PWCC but Matt, here's the thing. They've authenticated cards that have turned out to be fraudulent too. You know what I mean? So, but if this is happening, it's not cool, man. Mm-hmm. I think it would have been a better look to be like, oh man, we don't know how that got by. We're gonna make a post about it. We're gonna educate people. Guess what, Mr. Customer, you're gonna get your money back then plus some, and then they're gonna come out and be like accountable and say, hey, this is what happened. These are the corrective actions that we're gonna take. And I feel people will gravitate towards people who are authentic and honest. Nobody's perfect. I think one thing for me personally that's off-putting are all these companies that are like holier than thou, are quick to talk ill about everybody else. And they're turning around and making the same mistakes. And I'm not saying this, I'm just speaking generally.
For sure. I was hesitant to post. I might do it still. I was hesitant to post it and just kind of inform people, hey, look out for these cards. Because I didn't know. I mean, look out for it. And this is the reason why it's fake. Yeah, Matt, we do agree. Like, it is PSAs. Like, I guess not. Because they're still it is PSA's problem, right? Because PSA graded it, but PWCC, I don't think it is, but how they want me to do all the stuff to basically prove that it's real when it's like a known fact. So that it's a fake card, and just be like Jeremy said, how about make a post and kind of educate everyone that's newer in the hobby that are buying these type of cards, because it's not just the Nomar, like I was saying, it's the whole set. Someone's going to want to buy that Derek Jeter and get caught with the Derek Jeter that's fake, and that one's more expensive.
Here, if I was running marketing for one of these companies, I would say, instead of pushing back, you know what we're going to do? Manny, we're going to give you the card value plus credit. We're going to handle everything, and we're going to do our best to help you locate the card that you think that you were buying. Then we're going to turn around and talk about how education in the hobby is incredibly important, and we're going to use this as a stepping stone or as a conduit to educate people about other things, and make it almost like an open forum or or a
That's
soup
yeah.
bowl and start talking about it and being like, hey, these things happen. How can we rally as a community together? Because aren't there a bunch of cards that had patches that were completely replaced? And if it wasn't for somebody documenting it on their own on Blowout, like keeping visual logs, that there's people out there buying cards that are authenticated by grading companies. Like it's a legitimate, it's something that happens. And
Yep.
it's one of those things I think most people think didn't happen to me, not a big deal. And then it happens to you. And all of a sudden it's a little bit more frustrating.
Oh yeah. And I'm not like I said, I brought this up because I think Jeremy and I mostly brought this up for like kind of like the knowledge of these type of cards. And that some of these auction houses, like they could do all they can, but some fakes might slip through. So I know like in my fault, it could be my fault because I didn't research. So make sure you research the card that you're purchasing and you're auctioning or you're trying to buy on is kind of where I'm getting at. Maybe I'll post the card. And like I said, we'll kind of give it like, hey, this is what to look out for these type of cards. Because there's uncut sheets out there.
We should probably get one of the interns working on it, but we should compile a sort of like just a cornucopia of resources that are available where you can go and easily find some information on this stuff. Because hell, it just happened to Drake not too long ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Drake got a fake one too, didn't he?
Had a fake stamp and everything. And luckily, he was able to get his money back right away, and that situation was made whole. But it's just you don't want it to happen to anybody.
No, and that's kind of why I'm bringing it up. I don't want it to happen to any of the Thicc out there. It could happen to me. Manny takes L's every week, so I'm used to it. I just don't want it to happen to Matt and 504 and Lucid and Lauren out there. I don't want it to happen to you guys, so that's why I'm bringing it up.
Again, and you should try to like within reason, because there are crazy people out there. Like Manny, he'll go to McDonald's no matter what. He'll complain that his fries are cold so he can get another order of fries. There's scumbaggery out there like that. So sometimes you got to take these people with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I bet. So I'll let you guys know the process. I think it's an easy fix. PSA came out a couple years, maybe like 10 years ago, saying that they know it's fake. And if you bring it to them, they give you the value of the card, the real card. So that's kind of going to be, I'm wondering how that's going to work because I don't know what the value of the real card is, but I want it at this price. All I care about is getting my refund so I could get the real one. So that's all that matters to me.
Is there any price difference on the real one?
I haven't even checked. I see that's the thing is it's such a PC card. I didn't even care about what the price was. I was buying it regardless. So it happens.
Oof.
But I did want to it's a good time to bring it up about trimming though, right? It's like the common thing in the hobby right now. And if Cousins is still in here, I hope he is. Leave it up to a Philadelphia Eagle to basically show everyone that what's been going on for the last 20 years. Those Eagle fans and the Eagle players are all cut from the same cloth.
Manny, I love you to death, but you're fighting with everybody. I'm getting sideswiped. I am collateral damage all the time. I had Vadim messaging me because you guys are fighting about Lawrence Taylor and the Cowboys. You're going after Cousins. I'm in all these beefs. Like, it makes me think we're listening to 50 Cent like an Eminem, like toy soldiers, man. Like, come on now.
Yeah, you're ride or die with me. You're just like
I'm just trying to talk cards.
I'm like the Flavor Flav of this, and you're just the person having my back.
Yeah. So I was gone. I'm aware of what happened, but my social media consumption was minimal outside of a couple of Starbucks posts or 10 minutes in the morning. What was the reaction to that video?
I mean, it was weird because it was fit. I thought like trimming cards is bad. Okay. It's bad.
Okay, Mackie. Yeah. Trimming's bad, okay?
Trimming's bad, okay? But when you're reading these comments, people were like, yes, like getting excited about this. I'm like, how is this? You're docking the card. So I'm like so confused on what is going on. This is why, I don't know. He even said, I listened to him on Sports Card Nonsense. He said modern cards are easier to do this with than vintage because I thought it was just vintage cards.
Really?
So they're doing them with modern cards as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So when I was at PSA and I got to sit down with a grader and ask questions, they were talking about like and I'm assuming the grader I spoke with was probably highly skilled and was probably, more of a master as opposed to a novice or a newer grader. They said that you can tell on certain cards the cut of the stock. If you were to hold the card sideways and look at the cut of the stock, that you could tell it was like a certain kind of machine or a certain style of cut.
No.
Are they not going through that process? Because the video I saw was a guy with like an effing X-Acto knife.
No. The dude he was like, what's the guy from Breaking Bad? That dude was the trimmer. He was like the meth of, trimming. But he put like a piece of paper on top of the card.
Heisenberg?
Yeah, he's Heisenberg of the trimming community.
The Walter White?
Yeah, there you go, Walter White.
Fun fact, Crazy 8, Max Arcienega, that's my boy. Shout out Max. Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul.
So he did say it was harder with modern cards. I thought it was easier because it's sharp corners. So thank you, Matt, for correcting me. So, but yeah, he puts paper on top of a card and then cuts it to make it to that ridge. Like it looks just like it. Yeah. But when I was listening to, he's not able to grade through PSA because he was caught trimming. So he went through he had to go probably through group submission, right? But it's crazy how people are just trimming cards out here. I can't even cut in a straight line, and these guys are getting the material looking like it was cut at a factory. What is going on?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And the whole they can't grade with the graders BS too, because do you know how many people are like, yeah, I can't grade, but I just go through so and so who goes through so and so, and just add a couple other layers, and it's all good.
Yeah. What my thing being newer in the hobby, right? Because this has been happening forever, right? Being newer in the hobby, I have a question. And this is kind of like just me being curious, right? How come the hobby community is so pissed off at trimming cards? Yes, there was people that were 50-50, but there's a lot of the community that was pissed off. But at the same time, on the double-edged sword, there's people cleaning cards and wiping off fixing dents and corners. Why isn't that treated the same? And I think, it's weird because it seems like people are only pissed off when it's caught. Does that make sense? Like if it's a caught, then people are mad. If not, no one talks about it.
It is odd. That's very odd. I think you know what? There's a lot of gray space too, because I don't know if there's ever been any official thing come out from any of the grading companies as to what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And I do know in other collectibles, i.e. comic books, you're allowed to do stuff with them.
Yeah, you could steam it and get the creases out, and all that.
So I guess my initial reaction would be like, there's a gray area. So there is no what's good, Drake. There is no clarity on what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. There's, what's frowned upon from peers, but that's not an official stance. Mm-hmm. Then I would imagine partially with the lack of quality control in a lot of the products, people probably feel justified in doing it. And then I would also add that I'm just a big believer when money gets involved, people tend to not always do what's right, or, they tend to choose self over what's right. And so maybe any combination of that.
So Drake has a good point, because you were going to all these panels. If you would have went to CSG, you would have had my answer of my question, but you didn't.
Drake, I would have made it to CSG, but when we were at the Panini panel, you were asking 75 different questions about wrestling cards and autographs. Oh, and a side note, Drake and another guy had one of the coolest questions about wrestling card autographs. And Hail Mary, you'll appreciate this. It was something like, what if you got like parallels to autographs, where instead of signing it The Rock, the card is signed Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah. Kind of like Shohei signing in Japanese Japanese.
Yeah, kind of. Or you have the Kane, Hellfire and Brimstone, but then you get Mayor Glenn Jacobs.
You know how many times Mick Foley can sign his card?
How many?
He has like 5, doesn't he? Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, what is it? What was his Mankind?
Dude Love.
Dude Love. Dude, he would have a ton of parallels.
The Sacco Auto.
Yeah. No, that is a good question because do they? I mean, they sign by their stage name, but it would be cool to have like the real name on it.
Yeah. So back to this. So why do you think everybody, whether it's certain Instagram accounts, and I don't want to put anybody on blast because that's not the intent. Marty Jannetty, there we go. The Rockers.
Oh yeah, they are the Rockers, and we're the Lucha Lord. No, we're the Dudley Boys. We changed it.
See, I was getting ready to talk CSG there, Drake, and you went down the wrestling rabbit hole, Mister.
Yeah.
You know, the first thing I see on Twitter this morning is Drake and his trading cards.
The first thing I see is how I'm going to piss off Tony and Oz today, and today was just me trying to call Tony, so it was pretty easy.
There you go. But yeah. I mean, what do you think? Why do you think that people get an uproar over trimming and not, wiping the card down?
So I think wiping the card down, and I talked to shout out because I asked around because I was curious. I asked Marino, and I asked him, and he's like, it's because when you're just wiping down the card and cleaning it, you're not doctoring the card is what the word we came to. When you're using trimming, or you're making the edges better or the corners or messing with the dent, you're doctoring the card at that point. So I think, yes, it is a gray line, but I like what he said to me. Yes, cleaning, you're not doctoring it. But when you start using stuff to actually mess with the card of original state, then that's when it becomes a problem. I like to know what other people think because it's weird. You talk to other people and people are going to be like, trimming's, when you saw it in the comments, trimming's fine and doing all this to try to get the best grade and make the card look better, right? And then you got some people that are like, I don't even want to clean the card. And then you got in the middle where cleaning's okay, but the rest is not. So I am curious.
Yeah, there's some cards that we graded just authentic. That way the number, because it's going to sit in a showcase and it's going to be up and visible. And I didn't want a number on a slab pulling away from the eye appeal of the card. I you know what? I'm sure there's people who said, hey, I paid my money for this card. I can do what I want with it. And if somebody's stupid enough not to catch it, well, that's on them. And again, and correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody out there knows, but has a grading company come out and said what you can and can't do to a card? Is there any official? There might be, and I just don't know. It might just be ignorance on my part. Drake
just said that if you went to grade school, they said wiping's fine. And I thought this may be
thickest of the week.
Yep,
my guy Matt just fucking ripping Cheetos, ripping wax.
Yeah, there you go. I love it.
Puff crumbs, got a little surface issue, a little Chester Cheeto action.
Can you imagine the PSA just with a chunk of just his fingerprint with the Cheeto?
Yeah. Is that a Cheeto?
No. No.
That is a Thiccolo, right? That's only people listening to this program would do that sort of thing.
That's funny. He just threw me way off. But no, but I think specifically, we'll go back a year or 6 months. Kurt's card care was a big thing. Remember Card Porn said something about him? I swear Nat was in the comments, Turner, and said it's okay. It's okay what he does as long as it's not caught. I thought that was the thing because remember the Justin Herbert card that was graded and became $1 million? Was that the conclusion? Maybe someone would help me in the comments, but I think he said it was fine if it doesn't get caught. So that's where I got confused with the trimming because I think it's all bad. Not the wiping, getting your greasy Cheeto fingers out, but trimming and doctoring the card. I don't know.
I think most people would agree a wipe down with a microfiber should be acceptable because you have to handle the card. Not every pack that you open is perfectly and then you go like that. I mean, you put your fingers on these cards. So I personally don't have an issue with wiping it down. But that's just me. And I don't
I
know.
do like Big John because I did listen to that Evan Matthews interview, and he said that SGC was the best at like detecting trimming. They were really good at detecting trimming out of all the other grading companies. So they can tell.
So I mean, what do you think? Do you just wipe down? You can manipulate the card. You can fix corners. What can you do? What can't you do?
I think just wiping down the card. You know, us here at Too Thick, we are not perfect tens. We like it a little damaged over here, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel.
I'm Manny's a 6.5, and I'm a BGS 10 pristine.
No, I'm a PSA 6 that should have been a PSA 9 when we thought it was a 9 and it came back a 6. So that's me.
There you go.
Hail Mary has a good point. Hot breath. You blow your little hot breath, wipe it down with some t-shirt, and you're good to go.
Jeez.
But at this point, I don't know.
I did watch somebody at a card shop wipe down the card just with a microfiber, and let's go. Custom label, baby. Custom label. And he didn't use a fresh microfiber.
Yeah.
And there was like a little like think of a granule of sand.
Yeah.
And he went to wipe it and he scratched the surface. And this was probably a $200 to $300 raw card. And yeah, so obviously me being like, I had to tell him that he was a piece of garbage for trying to alter a card anyway. So, and that was just me just being a tool for the sake of being a tool.
Yeah, because I mean, sometimes it's like at the old one, don't you get like that wax residue like you want to wipe off? Is that considered?
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I wish somebody would ask,
either.
or we should get some clarity. Like, what can you do? What can't you do? This
Like
is
I said,
the official stance.
I talked to Marino, and that's what he said. My next person is I'm going to call Cage. He said I'll talk to you later, so I'm going to ask him about it, and I'll let the people know what he thinks of it because these are vintage collectors that been in the hobby for like 30 years, right? So I rather know. I mean, I don't know. I'm a newcomer looking in, and I'm like, why is something okay and something's not? So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
And then naturally, I would ask, why is one acceptable for comics and that sector of collectible, and why is it not allowed over here? Yeah. I guess I don't have strong. I'm personally not going to cut cards.
Is that why you have that steam room in your house? I saw steam room, and then you had the wire. Is that where you put your cards?
We hang them upside down.
Oh, see, I thought it was like the pictures.
We bring the humidity up.
Yeah,
and slowly the wrinkles naturally leave the cards.
Okay, I thought it was like the pictures you and Courtney take, and you hung them on that wall.
Those are not kid friendly or appropriate for the audience outside of our bedroom. So.
No, I'm excited. It seems like we're kind of like we had to bring up card trimming because that was the biggest news in the world. I wanted to bring up.
Can I ask you? Hold on. I got a question, and this is going to tie in nicely.
Oh gosh,
how would we agree it's difficult to get a BGS 10?
Yes, unless it's TCG.
Okay, now follow me here. I just got an order that popped while I was on vacation. It was 9 cards. 8 of the 9 got BGS 10s. 1 got a 9.5. And I'm not sure how many. I know I've got at least 3 black labels. I don't know how many total. I did nothing with those cards.
Yeah.
I legitimately sent them out, and that was it. There's going to be a new bro Namath in town when it comes to black labels, and it's going to be me. I kid. But when the quality, that's the one thing I hear about, is it Band-Aid? Bondi, Band-Aid, however you say it, Band-Aid. From the boys over at Band-Aid putting together a quality card.
Yeah.
You don't have to rub them down, and you don't have to do all sorts of stuff.
No, you don't. That's why I'm loving TCG World, because in Panini I got cards. Shout out Louisiana. Look at that. Oof. I'm just joking. My daughter wanted to take a bite out of this card. Jackson Hayes, I plan on opening it to see if the jersey is actually his. So while we do the show, I'm going to open this bad boy. So that's why I want to bring it up with Panini.
I like how you're firm. You were like, hey, Haven, if you don't eat your lunch,
I know
you're not going to eat until dinner time. And she said, you know what? You're a punk, Dad. I'm going to just start eating your cards.
Yeah, I mean, look at her. Took a whole chunk out of Jackson Hayes. Good thing it was Jackson Hayes and not my Nomars. Should be adopted.
Okay, thanks for that, Drake. I'll be checking that out tomorrow, probably while I lift. But sounds like Mike was not a fan of Evan. I typically side with or I have very similar views on a lot of things of Mike. So
yeah, he's not a fan. He was upset because Evan was saying like it's gonna happen, just let it happen, pretty much. It's still gonna happen. Like, just think of all cards being trimmed.
I want to know now. I don't want to make this the Evan Mathis episode.
No,
like,
it's definitely it's the Eagle. It's Cousin Collectibles and his gang of Philly fans, Philly Eagles, and all of them. So,
what was the motivation for sharing the video?
He didn't say, but he's coming out with a marketplace at the end of the month that's competing with eBay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I cut you off. I was gonna tell you like the quality.
It's Jackson Hayes, boys and girls. It's actually Jackson Hayes.
Yeah, I was gonna plug my awesome BGS order, but also just talk about, it's known, or at least I think most people feel strongly that the quality control from Panini is not always the greatest. And when you're spending $900 on a hobby box, and the quality is not going to be great, if and when you're lucky enough to finally get that hit, I'm sure people feel a sort of way like, hey, I'm justified in what I'm doing.
Well, Bandai, for example, like you said, the cards. I think a big portion of TCG cards is they're not squared, they're circle. So the corners are pretty much 10, right? Unless there's like a big nick in it. But like the actual like cards itself, this is like a base card. Like, look at that. Yeah. I don't know. You could tell they care about their quality a little bit more overseas than they do here.
My goodness.
Yep.
So can I tell you a couple things?
You tell me a couple things. Red nose, Rudolph.
Man, I'm gonna peel. I'm not gonna like that. Anyway, I had like 4 orders pop while I was on vacation. I had several packages delivered of like lots that I bought on Twitter, on Discord, cards I got in from Veriswap, and it was like Christmas with cards, but it was also a tease because I was somewhere else.
Yep.
And so, you get up in the morning, you go about your day, you have a good time, but you get that hour where you're like, you're checking on social media or you're doing whatever. You're like, man, I can't wait to get home and play with my cards.
Oh, you're excited to play with all your cards?
Yeah, and because you can't do anything in the hobby without recording it. So I got home, we jumped live, and I know that we're not going to open them tonight because everybody's exhausted. You have to do a video, so I can't wait to play with my cards, man. And it's perfect timing because it's about to get crazy from a show perspective over the next 3-4 weeks, and so it's good to have a lot of fresh inventory coming in.
For sure, and the funny thing is you have 4 of my cards that I wanted to sell, and I can't get a hold of them because you're in Vegas. So I want to play with my cards too. So I need you to send those ones over. But
hold on, how about a little bit of context? Hey, Jeremy, can you pick up my cards for me? Yes, I got you. Hey, do you want me to try selling them? No. Cool. Hey, if you want to sell them, let me know. I'll get you front and back pictures, and if you sell them, I'll make sure Amelia ships them out. Were those all options that were presented to you?
Yeah, but Amelia can't go to the right airport, so I can't ship a card.
Damn, Amelia getting sideswiped. She'll appreciate that, and then she'll come for your head.
Matt was asking to buy my Gap Go, and I was like, well, Jeremy has it, so I don't know. That was a dumb Band-Aid joke. I'll go to bed now.
Or an awesome one, and we just wanted to give it time. But if you want to go to bed and that be you, let it be your prerogative, Garrett.
So last topic. Did you happen, I know you're in Vegas, did you happen to see Kenny G and all his Netflix glory? Did you watch the 6 greatest episodes on Netflix?
Okay. So after tonight, thank God we have that Fanatics money because none of these folks are going to like us. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Full disclosure, I'm not done watching it. But I thought this was going to be something that I was going to want to sit down and binge watch and be in love and be proud and be excited. And well done. And I if I didn't feel obligated to watch it, I wouldn't watch it.
Wow, we're different. I liked it.
You did.
I did because I like Pawn Stars and that like American Pickers and all that. You got to go into it. So if you haven't watched it, go into it as, and I think it's good because it's bringing a different audience. There's so many people that aren't in the hobby that are watching this show on Netflix. So he has to make it entertaining. Like, it's really not for us in the hobby. It's for people that are not.
Sure.
And it is scripted, right? It is scripted. But if it wasn't scripted, you're watching Kenny G, but just watching him not scripted.
You know what it made me? There was this channel, and I don't remember what it's called, but I remember one time somebody had it on, and they had a series of TV shows they led you, if you didn't know any better, to be like true, like Cops. But everything was like scripted and staged. There was like a repossession show where they'd go out and repo cars, and it was actually all staged. And I forget what the channel is. I was watching that show, and I got that vibe. And then come to find out, like, how they like the boxes for the brakes, like that's kind of like to me the hobby's badass in itself.
Yeah.
You don't have to do some fake stuff to make it seem cooler. Part of like an awesome card being pulled is because everybody's been there where you ripped a million boxes and didn't get anything, so that when you finally do get something, that excitement is real. Or you get the hot box where you get like 4 autos in a box where you're only supposed to get one. That's just my opinion.
You're someone in the hobby, so you think it would be cool just like that. People not in the hobby, like my wife, she loved it, and she does not like the hobby, right? But she was like, this is pretty cool. Like, you actually can get this stuff and everything. I was like, not me. I take L's, but certain people can get these cards. And she was like, Drake was trying to buy this card. I was like, yeah, I tried to tell you last year. You weren't listening to me. But it was staged, but like the card, like him getting that card wasn't staged. He actually had to go and get that card.
Sure.
The LeBron. He had to get the Pokemon cards, like at Reno 911. It felt like when the guy put the main, what's his name? The main, besides Ken, the second man, Ken, he put on a wrestling outfit. I was like, yep, this is Reno 911. He's that guy. So, but I don't know. It's more for entertainment. It's going to get eyes on the hobby and memorabilia that people didn't realize. Like, they're going to be like, what? Mike Tyson collects memorabilia? Drake wants a card and was trying to break a card. I was laughing at pricing because the Raw, he was like 300 and some thousand. I'm like, no, that's never 300,000, 300 and some thousand. And I always found it funny because in those 86 Fleer boxes, there's usually like 3 Jordans in there. And he never told Drake that. So Drake was probably thinking he was like the happiest guy in the world pulling a Jordan. And Ken knew there's like 3 of them coming. So
I would love somebody to go back to these auction houses and where they proclaim cards to be the best ever, the most expensive ever. It would be fun to see like some of the swings and misses, because I've seen clips and there's not a Snopes for the hobby yet. There's not somewhere you can go fact check, but there's people who've edited videos of certain people saying this is a can't miss card. This card's, X amount. And then like, a couple months later, it's
I pulled this comment up because I don't know if you saw this gold Steph Curry. It was raw. The kid pulled it back in 2012 and kept it in his dresser. And he wasn't like a card collector. He just came. And what was cool, it may be staged. It may not. Most likely staged. He was like, another person was going to give me $150K cash for this raw card. And he took the chance, got it graded. It came back a PSA 8. So they were nervous because you know how the market is now. PSA 8 is kind of raw price. He got 180 plus buyer's premium. And the guy called him and said, I'm going to give you half of my buyer's premium, or the buyer's premium. So it came out to the guy who got 180,000. So he got 30,000 more. Could have been staged. The price wasn't staged, but it's kind of cool to see stuff like, I like to see stuff. And I know Lauren brought up the collection in Puerto Rico. That was insane. I don't know if you saw it, but you should watch that episode. He had like so much memorabilia, like 100 million $100. Wow, I can't even talk.
$100,000,000. That is getting clipped.
And millions. But the Curry was a kid that needed money, and he said he wanted to give the money to his parents. And them helping that type of kid, I like that content. I like helping. There's another one where the Lewis Hamilton Superfractor, those guys came in, and the kids sold it to a private buyer before it went on auction for an undisclosed amount. And I think it was
disclosed.
I can't talk right now. So, I know I mentioned Puerto Rico and got flustered because I know there's some Dominicans in the chat that don't like Puerto Ricans that much. So, but yeah, so I think it was all in all, it was good. I like to see the people that, didn't come for money actually pull a card once in a lifetime and actually get the money. That's kind of like what I'm hoping for me. Let me pull something really. Oh gosh. Yeah, there is a meme coming. We're close with Lamine James. I hope he doesn't clip that.
$1,000,000.
Yeah.
You can send that $1,000,000 to an undisclosed.
Well, you need to watch it. Just think of it as like, I know you don't like many things. Think of it as like just entertainment, and it's helping. Like, I know your whole family's in the hobby, so it's hard. So when I was watching with my wife, she loved it, and I was like,
"So am I in the minority? It's overwhelmingly everybody loves it, and I'm again
no,
just the out."
I think a lot of people that are really deep in the hobby, like us, kind of were nitpicking it. So,
okay. Well, I've got a friend who has absolutely nothing to do with the hobby, and I'm going to ask him to watch it. He owes me a favor. I'll have him watch it, and he can get back and let me know, how he feels.
Yeah. So I guess we might not be also before we go, new topic is we might not be invited to Cousin Collectibles and their Wolfpack trade night anymore because we threatened to beat them up in the middle of the trade night and get in the tables and break.
Do you see? Okay, again, ride or die. We established that, but do you see the ease in which you just throw around "we" instead of "me"?
Oh yeah.
You're like we.
We're the Dudley boys. We're gonna get the tables. And you're going to go, what's up, and jump off the top rope on us.
I'm not, okay. I'm not, a flying headbutt's great and all. The flying headbutt to the nutsack, probably not my favorite thing. Yeah, and but I find you to be more of like a Spike Dudley.
No, I'm too big. We'll have Blaine be our, he's going to be there. Hail Mary be our Spike Dudley. And we'll throw him around.
So get this. So we're walking through the Venetian, like Monday afternoon. Or, I'm sorry, Cosmopolitan. So like we had breakfast Monday. We made our way out and we were at the Cosmopolitan. And there's a machine called Dragon vs. Bear. And it's got like a Nintendo 64 like graphic before it goes into the demo of what the slot machine is. And so it shows like this like green with like the red pissed off dragon with these flames. And then there's this gnarly, angry panda bear whose head pops up, its eyes get green, and it growls. I saw that thing on Monday, and for the last 6 or 7 days, however long we were out there, every time I saw that machine, it took my money, and then I had a good laugh and just, yelled cocaine to myself because now, obviously, like, bears have to dominate everything.
Yeah, you talking about me, you're going to be the reason we're canceled because at card shows, everyone's starting to yell cocaine at you. And I can only imagine at the National how it's going to be. And they're like, where's Jeremy? Cocaine. I'm like, what is going on? Our community just drinks Mountain Dew and yells cocaine at people. So I don't know what's going on here.
I love when people that I don't know well. And like, so I don't know what their sense of humor is, sends me something. And I'm just thinking like, why the hell would you send it to me? And there's always like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. There's some like degree of separation, but somehow it makes its way back to Cocaine Bear. They're like, do you remember the third guy who got mauled where his face bounced off? Well, he's actually a backup actor in this B-rate movie that came out in the 80s. I just thought you would know. And I'm like, cool, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll peep that. I do. Right after I watch Golden Touch and anime.
Yeah, exactly. You need to watch some Golden Touch, it is weird though. They have scouts you'll realize. I don't know if you it was in the first episode. They actually have two guys, and they go out and look for stuff for them.
Yep.
They should have a spin-off show. Those guys
That would be cool.
of them just going to find stuff. Or I want to see like because this show seemed like they already knew where they were going and everything. I want to see them just like American pickers and going to find things, and that's where that spin-off show would be really cool.
I'm telling you, some of the best podcasts I've ever listened to. I think one of them was with Adam, the real 27 guy, was talking about like a collection that he was picking up. And then I think Rob from Burbank bought a collection in Hawaii. And like the story that they tell is insane. And it might be a show that doesn't catch on and go like outside of the hobby, but for hobby people, it would be like great damn cinema.
I have someone I can show you. I'll show you the exact same what you're thinking of. So, we could do that right around Midwest or Canada is what Cousin Collectible says. I mean, he gets jealous that our community in Midwest is so much better than the trash at Philly.
Jesus, man. Next thing you know, you're gonna find yourself. You just called all of New Jersey and Philadelphia.
No, I didn't say New Jersey. Don't put New Jersey in there.
Isn't it all the same thing?
See, now we're in the New Jersey. See, you just screwed it up. Puerto Ricans in Philly. Oh no, never mind. 2 Puerto Ricans in Philly is who I have a problem with.
So, what the hell were we just talking about, man? Now you got me thinking about.
This is okay. So, fun fact: this is why we don't go live with just Jeremy and I, because we go off the. This is how our conversations go. Oh, see now we're screwed because he's going to tell all Philadelphia to come at us. So, you ready?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, hey, Too Thick, can you come out and do a live episode from Chantilly?
Nope,
and I'll be like, yeah, guys, I'd love to be there. Honored, super humbled, and then something will come up, and I won't go there. Manny will go. He'll be forced to play one-on-one basketball and get a ball chucked at him.
Nope, we're not going.
Remind him, this is East Coast, man. East Coast.
We're not going to Philly. That's off limits.
Why? Philadelphia is a beautiful place.
I got a warrant out there.
Oh, I believe that.
No.
I believe that. So check this out. And here's the thing, guys. You don't have to worry. Manny doesn't go to card shows anyway.
No, I don't. I should have went to CollectorCon this weekend, though, dressed up as Pikachu walking around. You guys might see me at National dressing up. We should dress up as Dudley Boys at trade night and see if we scared Oz and Tony.
Okay, so I was passing through the airport today, and there was one of those kiosks in the middle that sold swatches. And on the side of it, there was a giant Dragon Ball thing, like a Goku or whatever the hell it is. And so I took a picture of it. So 5 minutes before we went live, I opened Instagram because I was tagged in a bunch of stuff over the last week, and I haven't responded to it. My ads are all like Dragon Ball pants. They look like hammer pants with like Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Big Brother's listening. But anyway, Manny doesn't really go to card shows anymore, man. I think he said he's not going to a card show until what you said, national?
National. Yeah, I'm broke because I'm buying TCG cards. I need to calm myself down.
I thought you were winning with TCG.
Yeah, I got to sell them. I'm winning.
So,
just got to sell them. I need Matt to buy my Cody Gap Go so I could go buy some more.
Matt knows it. Man, buy it. I'll ship it right now.
There you go.
I'll ship it right now. $4.75 OBO.
Yeah.
I got you, Manny.
Yeah, there you go. No, what's the plans for this week? You're going to
Friday. We head to Chicago. For Saturday's the Skyline Athletic Show.
Okay. Right? Yeah, Frank Thomas.
The following week, I am going to Indianapolis for VCon.
Yes.
And I'm not sure how to feel about that. Pretty dope to be there. So
you hear that, everyone? He's a Gary V disciple. He's in disguise. So attack.
Yeah. So I was trying to get Courtney to go, and because she's going to be set up at Johnny Ford's, I wanted to go be set up at Johnny Ford's, but I don't want to say unfortunately, but I drew Gary V. So it's going to be cool because we're going to see Busta Rhymes in concert. We're going to see Andrew Schultz, the comedian. and get to see
Can you give
trees.
me a
So it'll be a
Jessica
good time.
Alba autograph?
I will do anything for you, Manny.
Thank you.
If I'm not waiting in line. If I can buy it, I'll do that. But I'm definitely not waiting in line.
A Jessica Alba auto, and I want you to take a picture of Gary V's so you can post it, just like Tony and Oz did at National.
I am contemplating wearing a too thick winter beanie because that might be cool and that might fit in with the Velos or whatever they're called.
The Velos?
The Gary Velos, the Gary V disciples. Isn't that a Gary V thing? Don't their fans wear stocking caps?
I mean, he does. You got to bring blueberries too. Eat some blueberries into the beanie. Actually, we're too thick. You don't eat blueberries. Eat some
Cheetos.
Cheetos,
I guess.
I like it. So make sure you eat some Cheetos. Get that big beanie.
The following week, because of construction in Shipshewana, we have the Avery Shoebox Show Saturday. Then 3 hours later, trade night starts in Shipshewana for the Card Fest on Sunday. So that's the next 3 weeks, man.
Yeah, they shouldn't have switched it. I'm pretty upset that Shipshewana switched it. But
I like that they switched it because I like that you get to get home Sunday and still have that Monday for the holiday.
Yeah, true.
But that's just me.
I think I'm on call that weekend, so that's why I'm upset.
I got you. Yeah, but we've got some dope guest episodes coming up this week. We got some more flavor. We're still working on that merch drop for National, which is going to be don't epic.
Say that because Tony's in here. He's going to steal our idea. We got
my man. I agree. Good people of the program.
It's because of who celebrates Memorial Day?
Man, picnics, beer, pool.
You could do that at Shipshewana. I do.
What pool are you going to go? You walk to other hotels to poop.
That is true.
So you're not swimming anywhere. I'm saying you have an awesome show. You get home Sunday. You still have Sunday night if you want to rage and stay up. You still have the ability to do that. And Monday, you grill hot dogs, eat hamburgers, play catch, do whatever people do.
Play catch.
And on a side note, I didn't kill myself all my entire life to have a pool and then not be home to enjoy it. So we're going to float in the pool.
You just want to hang out with Butters. I hear him crying down there. So
did you hear him?
Oh, I hear Butters crying down there. That's what
he has been in my lap nonstop since I've been home.
He missed you. So
So it's, from a card perspective, it's busy. This week we're going to update ComC. We're going to talk about orders because I have been dropping off cards and picking up cards like crazy. And what I was going to say about the merch drop, that's I'm excited about that. Stay tuned.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have what is it? What do I keep saying? It's gonna be stitched,
embroidered.
Yeah.
Yeah, no screen printing for one Manuel Flores. He said,
no. Because Vadim said, what did he say one day? And he said, I ain't buying no shirt that's not embroidered. So
hey man, so when I was interning for music business, there was this MC in Chicago.
Yeah.
And when we were doing a merch drop for men's shirts, and at the time it wasn't called a merch drop, but we decided to order merch for an upcoming local tour. And when it came to ordering the dude stuff, he would not, this is a true story, he would not allow us to order men's shirts, medium and smaller.
I like that guy.
Because he said no dude needs to be walking around in a small because at that point you're not a man. And I always thought that was a very radical thought and opinion that's only going to hurt your own pocketbook. But hey, man, if that's what you want to do, roll with it.
Ooh, plantain chips. I might have to go get their merch. So, no, that is pretty smart. But then you can't have people like Tony wear shirts because he wears a medium.
Nonstop, man. Nonstop. Yeah. You are in your glory. You are a professional troll.
This is why I love live. This is why I said let's go live more because I could just troll. I could get trolled and I could troll people. Matt usually trolls me, so and Blaine just exit on. So now it's my turn to return the fire.
Well, dude, I can't.
Before you go, drip. Plug your drip thing.
I've got a couple things. All right, so May 15th, follow us on Drip. We got the free box of Bowman, and Courtney's doing this thing where she wants to, if there's a certain amount of people following, she wants to give away some slabs too, and not I think we ran out of Juan Soto rookie cards. So she's talking like quarterback rookie cards, which would be like a real dope giveaway. So make sure they also give you like $15 if they just give you $15. You don't have to spend money or anything, I don't think.
If you hit that link that they just put on their IG, it goes to, and you can get $15.
Yeah. So that, and then we're gonna be doing a free Disney break on ISO. So we're selling on ISO.gg as well, and so we're gonna building up that marketplace, and so we're gonna do a free Disney break over there. So you're gonna want to check out for that. And then, other than that, man, just keep following. We got a lot of fun stuff. It was nice to get away. 15 days in Vegas out of the last 40 for myself in court.
Yeah, exactly. I'm over here twiddling my thumbs waiting for an episode, and you're out there partying, going out in Lamborghinis, driving, asking about Michigan lefts in Vegas.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Staying up, when you wake up at 3 o'clock local time, at one thing that is consistent, at 5:30 in the morning, it is a lot easier to find prostitutes and alcohol than it is a cup of coffee.
Yeah. So you went to sleep.
No, we were awake. I don't know what you. I don't know how you party in Vegas. I'm old. I don't go out and do drugs. I have a couple of drinks. I go to bed. I wake up. I have a couple cups of coffee. I enjoy my day. But we're on Eastern time, so if you get up normally at 6 o'clock local time, your body clock's getting you up in Vegas at 3 o'clock. Now, mind you, if you get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, then you're walking around all day. You're having a couple of adult beverages, smoking a cigar, swimming, participating in other fun adult activities. Then, come 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. I was only out after midnight twice this week.
I cannot believe you. When we went to Vegas, you were out a couple times.
It was work. It was work. When
we were
Marino,
Don Julio smoking cigars.
The work.
I guess
it was work. That was networking.
Yeah,
that was you were in your glory that you worked that night, didn't you? You said that's where you put in that work.
I did.
And when you get invited to exclusive events, sometimes you got to go. That's why we're doing that trade night thing that you were talking about with that group of people from New Jersey,
Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans.
Love you, fellas. Yeah, make sure you follow us, and I'm going to bed, dude.
All right. Well, I hope. What do you want people to do? You can't. Oh, you always forget.
I never forget. You don't even give me an opportunity to be spontaneous at the end, and you always ruin it. You just let me be me, man. Well, I'm not good at much. I'm good at being an idiot.
Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed your hobby release. We will be back, like Jeremy said, maybe 2 episodes this week, one with a guest, one may not be a guest. And we will be trying to make more content because I need to start doing that a little bit better because I'm getting yelled at by our producer. So with that, hope you enjoyed your hobby release. Jeremy, take it away.
Smash that motherfucker! Woo! Gonna get a message that the kids are awake now. We're not in Vegas anymore, idiot. Knock it off.